Hey guys, I wanted to talk tonight about feelings and emotions. Man, I've been having some powerful emotions today, and very grateful for that. You know, I was thinking about actually the death of my father, and I've been connecting a lot with my grandmother. You know, the last few years I go over to her house a lot, and I watch her grow, and she's finding more joy in her life, more peace, more happiness. And I started to think about my sister, Ashley, actually, and I remember when she was, I don't know, probably 7 years old, maybe 6 years old. She had two front teeth and kind of looked like a chipmunk. She was just always, she was a tomboy, you know, so there was like 8 or 9 of us in the neighborhood, all guys, and she would tag along, and she would roll with the punches, you know. And as I started thinking of this, I just started crying, and I mean, the tears started coming out. I remember standing up for her a few times when the neighborhood friends would give her a hard time. And I remember, how she kind of looked up to me, as like a cool big brother, like way back when, until she discovered how uncool I really was. But, when these emotions come up, for me, it's the feminine aspect of myself awakening. The feminine energies of compassion and nurturing and giving and love. And for a lot of men or males, it's a very frightening experience. When emotions come up, when fears come up, when we become vulnerable, and for women too. It's frightening when they come out of nowhere, seemingly. Man, for me today, I just embrace them. When the emotions come up, I thank God that I'm able to feel this deeply today, and I feel so much love for my family, my friends, and even for people that have passed on, like my father. My father actually committed suicide. It's a long story. I don't have time for it in this video, but I've had a lot of closure with that, over the last few years, and a lot of release from that. And in my life currently, I'm noticing that the more emotion I allow myself to feel, the more alive I feel. The more I let go of these huge walls and barriers that I've had up for so many years, the more I put down, the guns and the axes and everything that I use to protect myself, is when the miracle happens. Is when I don't have to be afraid anymore, when I don't have to, there's still a 5-year-old Bill in there that has his shield up and that has the guns blazing, so to speak, just like there's a 5-year-old you, I'm sure, inside that tends to overprotect at times. It tends to still feel those issues of abandonment or whatever it is that all of us have had at certain periods in their childhood. And, my 5-year-old Bill has put down the AK-47s. When I feel vulnerable, I allow myself to feel vulnerable because I know that I'm amongst loving friends and loving family and loving people, and that it's okay to be human today, number one. And number two, that it's a beautiful, miraculous thing to have this much passion for life. No matter how much pain that might bring at times, and also how much pleasure, it's part of the roller coaster. You know, if you're feeling something that, for example, years and years ago, I had a really bad breakup, and I was so stressed because I loved, or I thought I loved this girl so much that I couldn't eat for 2 months. I threw up everything I ate. My stomach couldn't handle it, and so I lived on Ensures. For protein. That's how I survived. I mean, literally, there was barely any morsel of solid food that I could keep down. It was intense pain, and it was hopelessness, it was despair. I mean, it was the apocalypse in my world at that time. And I look back on it, and my God, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that experience, because now when I have a client that comes into my office that's going through the same thing, or I just see something where I feel that never-ending compassion that goes out to that person, I know. That's why I'm grateful. Because now I have that bond to where I can understand when somebody can't eat because they're in so much hell and in so much stress that they don't know how to go on. I'm grateful for all the valleys. I'm grateful for, every little last piece of it. And very excited for the future. I feel like when emotions come up, no matter what the outside world reflects back to you, no matter what your circumstances are, no matter what your lower mind will tell you, well, it's this, and this is the reason that I'm happy. Ultimately, it always comes from inside. The pain is elicited inside, and because our outside world a lot of times is reflected from our inside, from our it's just the way it is, I mean, life just is. Obstacles happen, events happen, most of which we create in our lives, some of which is due to outside circumstances, all of which we can choose to be responsible for our part in it 100%. But when those emotions come up, my suggestion and my experience is to get present. And what I mean by that is, right now, for example, if I were to ask you how you're feeling, most likely you would have to kind of reach in the air and decide or choose how you're feeling, because intellectually you don't really know, right? See? So to find out how we're feeling, we have to feel. We can't think how we're feeling. So take a second here. Take a deep breath. Let it out. And tune into yourself. Not thinking, feeling. What is it that you're feeling? It may be difficult to put a word on it. It may just be you feel present. You're hearing the words that are being said. Your thoughts are stilling as you took that deep breath. You may be in despair. You may be in joy. There are all kinds of possibilities. But when we can actually get present, meaning the monkey mind that's always on a hamster wheel that's spinning, when we can slow that down by deep breathing, by just clearing our energy and getting present right here, right now. You are not in the past, you are not in the future, you are not in an event 2 hours ago, you are not in an event that's going to happen 10 years from now. You are right here, wherever you are, right now, in this exact moment. And you do have the ability to go into yourself right now and ask yourself, how am I feeling? And then when you get that, the best response is to not have any words for how you're feeling. Just kind of that neutral feeling. That means that your thoughts are clearing, you're slowing down. And then you can even ask yourself, who am I being? feel clear, I feel relaxed, and I feel expansive. When I go even deeper, and I ask myself, how am I being? What is my way of being that I'm feeling now? Then I can say, I can feel it. Nurturing and compassionate is how I am being at the moment. The difference between feeling and being is embodying that feeling or that vibration and radiating it. Taking that as almost as if you're a conduit for that energy flowing through you. And so after you ask yourself those two questions, you can love yourself, you know. For those of you that are open to trying to do things, Jack Canfield, actually, the Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul guy, my mentor at the moment, told me to look in the mirror every night before I go to bed and tell myself in the mirror that I love you and mean it. It was very awkward at first, but now when I tell myself I love you, I am being. That's my way of being. That love as I look myself in the eyes. It transcends words, it transcends anything that you have to do, and it goes into that energy frequency that you can feel in yourself and in other people sometimes. You can feel it in good people. You can feel that special kind of permeating the energy field with something, a substance of who they are. We all have this. We're all the same. We're designed the same. We have the same double helix DNA at the moment. So just take that with you. I hope you guys have a great rest of the night, and I love you.